Hey everyone, it has been a little bit of a while, but we're back and we are rolling today because Fabergé has his first ever area festival for British Dressage. So a big day of firsts for him. He's never done an arena walk, never seen 3 judges, never had a tack check, lots going on. It's going to be really busy. There's big entries, there's like about 40 in each class, and they all use the same warm-up. He also has a day stable book because he's not very patient at waiting on the trailer. So we booked him a day stable. He's literally never been in a stable away from home before either. So lots of things to sort of test him today. So excited to see how he gets on. But also, I won't lie, I was really excited to take him. This week he's just been a bit like meh, and I think it might be, it's obviously hard to tell because he's fine in himself, but I think when I'm riding him he's not loving the surface that we have at home, because obviously if you live in England, well, the UK, I don't think there's anywhere that's not had the relentless rain. And it's just got so wet and a bit deep, and I'm trying to stay out of the worst of the deep bits, even if that just means like trotting, cantering around the edge, which obviously makes it very difficult to prepare as well. And I don't know if he's just struggling a bit, finding that a bit hard. Hopefully it's not as bad as the surface at Solihull, which is where we're going. And yeah, so yeah, that's me. I'm just a little bit apprehensive because of that, but I was really looking forward to it, so I'm trying to keep channeling that like mindset, and there's kind of no expectations because this is his first ever one, loads of new stuff, so yeah, we'll just see. It's a bit of a test for him.
Am I allowed a whip for the arena walk? Am I okay to have that for the arena walk? Yeah.
Little update, it's kind of hard to film anything, so you might just have to get like the clips from the arena walk and then my test just now, and I'll do a full debrief on what's been going on after. But we did the arena walk. I just think that's a really good opportunity to let him see the arena, given that it's the first time with like 3 cars. I'm not even sure if he's seen flowers in the arenas before, so he's looked at all of that and went in the warm-up again, which he has been here once before. But yeah, it does look different today, like there's heat lamps and stuff, stewards at either end, like it does look different to last time. Heard the commentator, which he was very good with, very pleased about that, and hopefully he's in his stable now, which he's not massively happy about, but he is the only one there, which is obviously really hard for him. There's no other horses on his block, like on the same row or the row across from him, which is a little bit of a shame. There's meant to be one next door, but I don't know if they'll come or not. So probably gonna have to babysit him for the day, but it's irrelevant. At least it's much easier to babysit him in the stable than it is in the back of the trailer, where there's not much room and he's constantly rocking it and making loads of noise. So yeah, but arena walk went really well. He was a little bit nervous about the other horses. He's obviously very small and the other horses caught him up very quickly, so I just let them go past. But he didn't really like it when they were like coming close behind him, and then people were trying to get in front of the vehicles by the arena and then having issues, and I just didn't even go there. There was just no need, just going behind them. They've been parked really close, I'm guessing for a reason, so people can't get in front of them. But anyway, yeah, blabbering now, but go and get him tacked up soon and then it'll be his turn. Babysitting duties. Good boy. He's not very convinced about this. He's got his hay and water over there. He's got some on the floor and some in the net. But he's not very... And he's got a bit of food in the bucket, but he's not really a foodie. The carrot balls keep him occupied though, at the moment. Dressed, ready. Going to go and grab the tack now, tack him up, and I will see you afterwards. So wish me luck. Hopefully he's a good boy. Yeah. Also, the hair is looking good today, I think. Hopefully. Can't see it. jump scare. This is far from my best look, but honestly it's so cold now. I've just been sat with Fabergé in the stable for ages. I feel like I'm definitely going to be really ill by the end of this month, but I've got all the layers on to try and warm back up, and I'm just contemplating whether or not we just go home now. So we've got loads of positives today. The arena walk went really well. Didn't mind the commentator at all. He warmed up pretty well. It was super busy, so he's never probably seen a warm up quite that busy before in like, it's quite a small space. So he was very good with that. All good like learning experience for him, even though it sometimes felt really hard to warm up in there. Like, I'd really have struggled if I was trying to ride one of the others to do the medium, but obviously Fabergé is just like trying cantering round. And then he went down okay. He did his tack check, which I was a bit worried about, and he was an angel for that. He's not loving his stable, but he has no one next to him or across from him. He's like totally on his own, so that's understandable. And he's not going crazy, he's just not that happy about it. And then the test. So the test was okay. I just feel like he goes in and he sort of shuts down a little bit into himself, and that is his default. If he's nervous about something, he just goes like really backwards into himself. And it just makes him really difficult to ride. Like, I don't carry a whip or use spurs on him, because he's not really lazy. He's not like a lazy pony. But once he starts to get spooky with stuff, like the cars had their engines running, and that was just like too much. Like, he just really shut down then. And then when he's backwards and he's spooky, it's hard to get him going forwards and not spook. Like, it's just all a lot, and it's just not possible to do it. So yeah, he was just a bit spooky because the cars had their engines running. I don't know whose idea that was to have engines running at an area festival. Anyway, can't make excuses for him. It wasn't his best work, and he still came out with 67%. But just not, it's just frustrating because I just know, like, without those bits of spooky and stuff, like, he could have just done such a good test. And he, honestly, I do genuinely believe he's very capable of winning or coming second at the very least. So it's just a bit of a frustrating one, really. I am aware of the irony as well, me dressed like looking like this whilst trying to tell you this, whilst being like, I'm crying. But it's just hard because it feels like every time I'm in a good position and I start to think and really believe that, like, you know, we've got a really good chance and the horse is going really well, and then something always happens, like, and that's just life. I know that happens to everyone, but it's just a really hard pill to swallow sometimes when you know that he's like so capable, and then it's not like there's another area festival next week that we can go again. Like, we've got to wait like another 6 months, and you just don't know what's happening in 6 months' time, you know. And I try to remind myself, like, you know, my horses are sound, they're healthy, I'm healthy, we're all in one piece. Like, life could be so much worse, but I just think this year it's just been a really hard winter, and, you know, you start questioning things, and again, I know everyone's in the same boat, so it's really hard to, like, feel like you're complaining, but also I think it's okay to feel disappointed in the outcome, and we'll regroup, I'm sure. Sorry, this bit's really rumbly, but it's just like all my faults as we are at the current time. But yeah, like, we'll go again for the summers and stuff. He's already partly qualified. Still got 2 more area festivals with Milo and Ruff. I think I'm just definitely going to just go with like no expectations and just enjoy riding them and see what happens. I was saying like I was coming here with no expectations, but realistically I did have expectations because he's just not scored below like 68%. And he's won his section at almost every single show he's been to, I think, apart from like one test. So you just build it up in your head, don't you? And then I'm like, oh no, but it's his first area festival, but still, you know what you're sat on. So yeah, a bit disappointed, but what can you do? Not disappointed with him, just disappointed with the outcome. Lots of things to think about. I think I really need to get him like hacking. He doesn't really hack. So I think need to really crack on, take him with Milo and take him hacking. Just try and get him really bold, get him really brave, get him going forwards, keep going to more venues and stuff, try and be really consistent with taking him out. Yeah, lots to think about. Just, I think, yeah, he just needs to get so much braver and more experience, but he's just a bit of a difficult character. Yeah, lots to think about. I don't know whether just to try and go now and get my sheet and go home though, because he's not going to be in the top 10, I don't think. And it's just so cold, and I just feel a bit sorry for him waiting for another couple of hours. I think I might just maybe see if we can go home. It's actually a few weeks later now, and having had time to reflect and actually watch back the test, which I didn't do not until like a week or two after the show, it actually wasn't that bad, and there's lots to be really pleased with, and it's a really solid baseline to start. And when I got my sheets through, when the judges gave him just under 69%, so there's loads to be really pleased with and lots to hopefully look forward to with the summers. I did want to just quickly talk about Milo and Ruff's. This is a really unflattering angle, but it's comfy. So Milo, I did try to film his, but honestly, I just got really sidetracked and just decided that I didn't want to put it together and put it out. And basically on the first day, he was really tense when he went in. I just felt like as soon as I got on to warm him up, to be honest, that he wasn't on side, which was a bit weird. I don't really know why that was, but I guess we all have bad days. But for the medium, he was such a good boy, and when the judges had him on 65%, even with a really bad simple change, but in the other one he walked, which is like pretty much, he very rarely does that in a test, so super proud of him for that. Ruff's was a bit of a disaster, and that's why I had a bad feeling about it, so I didn't film any of Ruff's other than his tests for us. So yeah, there's nothing to see from Ruff's either. To be honest, really disappointed with that. But there's just something not quite right somewhere. It's not adding up. So yeah, need to have a little review of Ruff's situation. I think Milo's was genuinely just a bad day for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe his muscles were sore from riding him the night before. Maybe he didn't like the weather. The arena was wet. I literally don't know. But he just came out and wasn't playing ball. And then he came out the following day. It was totally different. Whereas Ruff, he went 2 days and he was better the second day, but just not how I would kind of expect him to be, and I don't get the feeling it was just a bad 2 days. So stuff to look into there, but obviously we'll keep you updated. And yeah, so really quite actually disappointing, but lots of positives and lessons learnt this winter area festivals, and we will go again ready for summer hopefully.